Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Crafting Unedited. My name is Sierra, and today I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Word for sublimation. So I've ran into the issue with Cricut Design Space many of times of the images not being able to be large enough for some of my projects, i.e. a t-shirt, anything larger than a medium. And let's be honest, not everyone wears a medium or smaller. So, kept running into the same issue. How do I make this image bigger? How do I make this image bigger? And how do I print on a full sheet of paper? It's the most annoying thing that Cricut does. And, I love Cricut. I love their products. I love what they do. They just need to fix that sizing thing. I don't know why it doesn't allow anything but other than 6.75 by 9.25, but this is one of my workarounds. I'm going to be doing several other tutorials on this. There's a couple of other things that we can do to kind of work around that limitation. The only thing with this is that you cannot use your Cricut for cutting these images, but if you're using it for sublimation, you don't really need to cut it. So, well, cut it to size anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But this is one of a few different workarounds that I have, so make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and that you keep a lookout for these next few tutorials on sublimation, resizing, or getting it bigger than what Cricut allows. All right, so first you want to have Microsoft Office open or Microsoft Word open on your computer. I have a Mac, so it might look a bit different than what yours does on a PC or anything else. Microsoft and Macs are really kind of, I guess I would say, headbutting. So for me, this is kind of iffy on whether it wants to work properly or not. Word, that is, not the computer or the software or anything, just Microsoft Word. So we got lucky. It's working today, and I'm going to walk you through how I get a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to print for an image. So the very first thing you want to do is go to your layout. You want to go to your margins, and I have it set to a custom setting of where all of my margins all the way around are 0.25. The reason why I do this is so that I can get that image all the way up to the edge, but still have just a little bit of clearance so that it's not going to fade off or it's not going to cut any of my image off. So we have our margins set. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and find an image, which should be pretty easy. Depending on which direction your image goes, you're going to want to change the orientation or the size of your paper or anything like that. So I'm going to go over into my images and I'm going to find what I want. Let's see, today I just downloaded one. Let's see. I'm just looking for something that I want to download here. I think this is a good one. And so actually I'm gonna, whoops. So I got this from Design Bundles. It's not letting me bring it over. Maybe because I'm sharing my screen. Hold on, guys. Well, it's not letting me bring it over. Anyway, so I am on my other screen here, and I'm in my downloads folder, and basically I have an image that I want to create, right? So all I'm going to do for the Mac, I don't think it's the same. You can either copy and paste it, drag it, drop it, go over to Insert up here. We'll do it this way so that you can see. Insert Pictures, Picture from File, and you can select any, there we go, that works. Any of your files over here. So this one was in, oops, no, it wasn't there. It was in Downloads. See, it's not even in the same order over here. Anyways, we're gonna just wing it, find something else. There we go. It's this one. So just open it up there. You can either insert it like this, or you can drag and drop it. Now let's hope that my Microsoft Office decides to. There we go. See? And now you can clearly see that this is going to print on my entire 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. How fabulous is that? Now, what you want to do is, because I have learned that unless you change the saturation of the image, it's going to come out just a little bit faded. It doesn't matter what type of printer you have, what type of ink you have. If you're printing from another software other than Design Space, even Design Space sometimes comes through a little faded. Okay, so you're in your picture right here. You are going to go to Picture Format, and I just double click on the picture to get to the saturation. And then over here in the right hand corner, you can see all of the options that you have. And saturation is on the last one right here. Sharpen, soften, sharpness, softener, picture color, saturation right here. And you can see it won't let me move it. What the heck? It's not letting me do anything over here. Oh, it's because my computer is being a little slow. And now it's going to do it all. Give it a second, apparently. All right. So this is their presets to change it. I don't know if I like any of these. It's not allowing me to change the preset on the saturation on this one for some reason. I think it's just my computer. There we go. Color saturation. Yeah, it's not letting me. So I'm going to switch pictures here. Bear with me because I want to show you how to do this. Insert, pictures, picture from file. Let's go back. So that image is from Design Bundles, if you're curious. Designbundles.net. Oh, my computer is being very, 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 very slow. Let's see. No, those are all going to be boring. Watercolor flowers. Let's see. We'll just do one of these. There we go. This will be a good one. Big frame. There we go. See, this is watercolor, so it's going to already be a little bit faded. Well, I wouldn't say faded. I would say lighter because it's watercolor. So again, going over here, I've double clicked on my picture, so this popped up on the left or the right hand side, and you can see here now that it has I can saturate it a little bit. It lets me. You don't want to go over too far. You go over all the way and it turns very orangey, browny, and we don't want that. So that is super contrasted. I want it to be around there we go. You just got to play with it to your liking. This will just kind of, I don't know how to define it. It just makes it brighter when you transfer it onto your product. So I've got that. Now you can see here that this does not take up the whole sheet, and that's because it's not a whole sheet of design. It's definitely a circle, so circles aren't going to take up a whole rectangular page. Now it's going to print up towards the top. So if I wanted, this is what I like about using Word, is because I could take another small picture if I wanted to make like, oh my goodness, computer, stop being so slow. So I've got my whole thing here, and this is going to be like I'll check in a second for sizing. But that's a pretty good size in my opinion. If you wanted it bigger, you would have to use a bigger sheet of paper or do the double page thing, which I can show you how to do now. So view, you're gonna put on multiple pages, and let me see here. There's a way to put it side by side. So we've got, my computer does not want to work with me. Whoa. Here we go. Ah, hang tight. For some reason, it doesn't want to give me multiple pages. There we go. All right, so if you want to do it split, you're going to have to make it bigger than the page. Just kidding, that didn't work. Why is my computer being so rude? So to get it to do half and half, oh my goodness, this is annoying. So what I would do, because it's not automatically going over onto the second page, is I would just make it as big as the first page right here and then move it over. I mean, you don't even have to do that. So we're gonna just put in another one. Hang tight, I'm gonna show you. I promise this is gonna work out. So we're gonna select the same picture again. Oh my goodness, why did it do that? This makes me look like an idiot, guys. I'm sorry. We're just going to copy and paste. There we go. So, I want this to be as big as possible on that first page without going over my edges there. All right, so what we do with this one is the exact same thing. Whoa, now it wants to work. Oh my goodness. This is annoying, guys. I'm sorry. It's because I put in all those spaces to add the second page. I want to make this. I did this before and now it doesn't want to work. So basically what I'm trying to do here is get this part of that image over here, but it's not wanting to work properly. So the easiest workaround on that, oh, you want to make sure that your saturation levels are the same. So this one is, right now it's just 100 and 100, so we're going to leave that. Where's my crop? Crop. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Crop, right here. So we've got cropping. Let's crop the image. This was supposed to be a quick tutorial, guys. I'm sorry. So we are going to take, nope. Picture format at the top. This is the easier way of cropping. Don't know why it doesn't let you over there. So it looks like this is just going to be an eyeballing move here. Looks like it's about, right about there. There we go. See? Wasn't that hard. Now we're just going to make it bigger. And I actually need to crop it more. you have a little bit of overlapping, it's totally fine. There you go. See these two edges align right there. And then we've got the part of the bigger flower there. So that's going to be just about right. It's not. I'm trying to get it to align so that you can see that it's going to fit. It's not working out so well. Let me just crop this just a little bit more. This was supposed to be quick and easy, guys, but I am definitely the creator that is going to show you how to screw it up and then how to fix it. There we go. Getting there. There we go. So I do need to crop it just a little bit more because you can see right here where this big, I don't know what it's called, ball thingy is. That is not on, I just pointed to my screen like you could see it, guys. So going to crop it just a little bit more. This is definitely one of those things that takes just a little bit of designing. Does that look about right? I think it looks great. So now we have what's going to create an even bigger image. So we have this one, which is, if you go over to picture format, you'll be able to see your exact size. So 10.65 by 10.88. So you're not going to get much bigger than that. And that's going to print part off of page 1. So it's going to cut off right here, which is totally fine because you have this on page 2. Your overall size is going to be 10.65. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this picture too. Why? Because it's disappeared. So we're going to make this just a little bit smaller here, so that I can crop it. It's like way off the page here. But there we go. Look at that. So to line it up, to make sure that it's perfect, there we go. Look at that. Now you can see very clearly that this and this are like perfect. So now we can make this side bigger to fit that side. This is definitely plug and play, guys. That's not the right size again. I fudged it up, guys, because we're missing part of that. So we want it to go over just a wee bit more. You want it to fit almost perfectly there. And then, so what's going to happen is when you transfer this over, you're going to have to layer it into 2 pieces for your sublimation, which is totally fine. I'm just trying to play with it to get it as good as I can. So that it doesn't overlap as much. Overlapping is fine when it comes to these. You just want to make sure that they're the right size. And the easiest way to do that is the height. So this is 10.26. You want this one to be, I cropped that, so that's not going to work. Eyeball it. I am not a numbers person, so I can see here that this aligns with this aligns with that. It's gonna fit. I just know it. So now that we have this and I've extended this past my marker of what I wanted it to, we're going to saturate it and then call it a day. We're just going to go with it. So we're going to do the saturation picture format up here. Color saturation at the top here. We want it to be as bright and beautiful as we possibly can. But we don't want it orange. And you want to make sure that you do the same thing for both sides. See the difference there? Super bright. Now this is going to print off onto 2 pages, and you're going to have to tape the 2 together. I'm going to go ahead and find something to put this on, and we're going to hop on over to the camera, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So hang tight. We'll see you over on the camera in just a few minutes. Well, in a few seconds for you. Or a second for you. All right. See you on the flip side. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I need to show you how to print the darn thing, huh? So up here for Mac, it's just this little printer guy. Come on. Printer guy. There we go. So you can see here, it's going to cut off there, and then that's page 2. So page 1 and page 2. I have the Epson EcoTank 2720, and I have it set to my sublimation setting. What that is for me, it's a preset that I created for custom, and what it has is it has best for my media and quality, for the quality. I have it set to plain paper. Sometimes I'll move it over to matte paper, but plain paper works just fine for me. Layout, I have it automatically flip the design so that it's already mirrored, so that I don't have to worry about mirroring it. And then I have it set to, what was the other setting? That's really it, I think. There we go. Preview, all pages. I have it mirrored so I don't have to worry about it, and we're good. So then I just hit print, and we're on our way to the camera now for sure. Sorry about that. Uno momento. Alrighty, so now that we have our image cut and ready to go, we are just going to trim it up, put it together, and then press it. Alright, so I'm going to show you the image that I have. Came out in 2 pieces, like we talked about. I know it's not very bright. I forgot to grab my ring light. I'm sorry. But there you can see how we're going to put it together, but we can't right now because it has that overlapping line. We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut off the edges. Paper trimmer. I have the Cricut brand one. You don't have to have the Cricut one. It's just, it was on a super sale, so why not? And I've already got my press is going. My press is already going. It should be heated up by the time we're good. I've already pre-pressed the shirt. I'm going to use the lint roller over it in just a second. I'm going to grab that now because if I don't, I'll forget. Lint roller over the area that we are going to be pressing. Alright, so now I'm just going to cut off the edge here. Got to make sure that I get it right along. I'm actually going to leave that one. So right now I'm just lining it up so that it fits. This is really hard because it's not right on the edge of the paper. I still didn't get it all. Dang it. I swear, even with this thing, I can't cut a straight friggin' line. Such a goof. I kind of ripped my paper. That's okay. That's okay. Apparently this trimmer does not like to cut sublimation paper very well. So I am just going to go back along here. In this case, having a not so straight line would be in your favor. Alright, so I'm just going to cut around the image now. Sorry guys, I'm like crazy tired today. So I don't seem as chipper, that's why. So, just a very rough cut. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we are going to take the two, give this a quick trim around as well. Just so that when I press it, I don't have like this crazy straight rectangular shape around. So I'm going to do a few more tutorials on what programs to use for Cricut Design Space. Again, I'm really sorry about this lighting, guys. I did not think that it would be that bad. So hang tight with me. Anyways, I'm going to do some more tutorials on like what sites to use for sublimation printing, what sites I've found that work best, or what programs to use, what free programs to use. A lot of people use Photoshop. I'm not paying for Photoshop, so. And that's just another thing that I have to learn. I know how to use Microsoft Word and Office and all that, so. I'm going to stick with what I know for now. When the time comes that I want to learn more and broaden my horizons, I will. And I will always include you guys in my learning extracurricular activities, fun things. I cut the other side a little more detailed, so I wanted to go through and cut the side a little bit more detailed. I'm really hoping this like jagged mess up that that cutter did doesn't affect my print. But if I do it right, it should be fine. Okay, now we are just going to line it up. Tape. Line it up. As best as possible. That might really affect my image here. And I cut it off weird. So it's not going to be perfect. I cut it off in the program a little weird, so it's going to look a little funny on my side. This is where the trial and error comes into play. Because I am pretty sure I am missing some petals. And then some, probably. Oh well, we're gonna go with it. I'm not gonna press it though. Or I might and then just cover it up with some vinyl. But I want to show you guys what I do. Something seems really weird here, but that's okay. Because it seems like it should be fine, but then at the same time it doesn't. Let's see. As in, parts of it are lining up and parts of it are not. That's why it seems off. But I guess not. Sorry, I'm just trying to line it up still, even though it's not going to line up. So I've got some little pieces of tape here already cut off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little piece of tape underneath one of my prints. Like this. So that when I put the other side on it, it sticks. Now I can show you what I'm talking about. So right here, you can clearly see that that does not go together. It kind of looks like it does on this side, but this side definitely does not. I don't know what happened there, why that looks so wonky, but you can also see where the paper trimmer botched it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side and put a piece of tape underneath it so that I can grab it from both sides and flip it over. And that way it's not going to move. It's as good as it's going to get. Now I'm just going to tape the back side just a little bit to make sure that it stays in place. And now we have a full-size wreath. I mean, I guess from far away you can't really tell, and in the dark. Worst case, what I can do is I could put something down below here to cover that up, some sort of vinyl or something. So I'm not 100% bummed on it. But we're going to go ahead and press it so that you can see that you're not going to be able to tell where that line is, other than the fact that I butched the cut. Botched, whatever. So we're going to put the funky side on the bottom. Line it up on my shirt here. Get some more tape. The most important part of this video was the beginning, showing you how to do this. I wanted to do this part so that you could see that if you do it right in Word, then you're definitely going to have a perfect image. Tape there, tape there. Move it over to the press, and then I'll move you guys over in just a moment. Hello again. All right, so now my press is set at way too low of a temperature, so I have to bump that up. I had it set at 340 because I was making stickers. I was pressing Oracle vinyl. It works. I didn't think it would, but it does. That's definitely not as vibrant as if you were to like print stickers on your printer with like the shiny glossy paper, but it does work and I'm pretty excited about it. Sublimation on Oracle 651 is a thing and you can do it. I'll do a tutorial on that one next because it's so easy and it's so fun. So fun. The only thing is that you cannot, I didn't use the Cricut to cut around the edges, but now that I know that I can do it, definitely will be using the Cricut to cut around the edges so that it looks cleaner. I'm just waiting for this to finish heating up because I was a dodo and had it set at 340. So I have a piece of butcher paper to put on top. I have a piece of butcher paper on the inside of the image as well. And that's really all you need. I do use the Teflon sheets on occasion, but this is a 50-50 blend shirt and I don't use it for those. I don't really know why, but one of those things that I just don't do. All right, we are at temperature, so you'll notice that my image is not fully on my press. So what I did was I have it kind of like folded where it's not on the press so that I know where to press again and so that I don't burn the shirt. And that's something you want to be very careful with because these images are bigger than most presses. Well, bigger than mine at least. I have the 9x12. I do have the 12x15, but it's being used for excuse me, I got the hiccups there. Headbands and cups. So that thing is, it's a beast. It's the 8-in-1, but it's very difficult to alternate between the two. So should be done any second, 30 seconds to be exact. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe so that you can catch the rest of my tutorials. Sorry, I heard a weird noise back there. Alrighty. And we are good on that part. So we're going to lift it. Flip this over, because chances are some of the image went through. Either flip it over or get a whole new piece. Trust me, because if you don't and you take it off to move it to press again to get the bottom part of that image, you're going to end up with shadowing, and trust me, you don't want that. So either get a new piece, flip it over, do what you got to do to make sure that you don't end up with shadowing. Alright, now we wait on the other side. I have it set as medium pressure. You do not need to have firm pressure for the sublimation on shirts. It just needs to have even pressure. Does not need to be firm pressure, just even, so that your whole image is pressed at the same time and you're not using like a household iron or an easy press where you're kind of going over and over and over. Now, an easy press does work if you can keep the pressure stable and that the press covers the entire image. Where the press does not work is if it does not cover the entire image, and then you're going to have like a lighter spot where you had to repress. And nothing on Cricut, it just doesn't have that solidity of single pressure. If that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Almost done. This is just a tester shirt, so I'm not too concerned if I ruin it. Alright, so we're going to peel off our image here. And again, like I said, the only way that you can tell that it was 2 pieces of paper is because I messed it up. But, I'll show you. Hold on. And here we go. There is one full flower. And you can see. Hold on. There you go. Look at that. So in the camera, I guess you can't even really tell that I messed it up too bad, except for right here. You can clearly see that it's not a full flower. But that middle one, you can't see the line where the 2 pages were put together there. Well, I guess you can, but that's because it's missing part of the flower. But other than that, it's seamless. There's no line. It's beautiful. And this is a 50-50 shirt, so of course it's not as bright as it should be, but I think it's still pretty. So what I can do is I can add some vinyl down here. I can put like mama or like a fun quote or something if I wanted. So it's not a completely failed shirt. I'm also going to do a whoopsie sale on some of my whoopsie shirts or my tester shirts. So that, my friends, is how you make your sublimation prints bigger using Microsoft Word. If you want to use it for an image like this, that is a super easy thing. You just put like the words on 2 separate sheets of paper, and then you can put them together when you press. That is super, super easy to make bigger. But something like that, where it's one solid image, can be a bit tricky, like you can see there. So using Microsoft Office Word is very user-friendly to do this. You just have to make sure that you have a good eye and that you're cutting and cropping so that it all fits together. All right, that's all I got for you today. Make sure that you stay tuned for some of my other tutorials and the one for the stickers. We'll see you later. Bye.